is life, black is death.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Max on Color. And thank you so much for joining us today. And I'm accompanied by my best friend, Diego, and Ricardo. And today we are going to talk about the accomplishment that Ricardo just did. He just finished a new independent movie, and we're going to talk about that later. And you probably already watched the trailer before, right? We just played that in the intro. And hi, Kevin Sutherland from Montreal. Thank you so much for joining us today. And how are you, Ricardo?
Hey, I'm well. Thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you so
This
much. The pleasure is mine, man. Thank you so much for joining us today. And
Yeah, thank you so much. It's awesome. Where are you located now, Ricardo?
I'm in Sacramento, California.
All right, nice. How's the weather over there? Is it still like hot or how is it?
It's hot. It's really hot. I'm
oh
waiting
man.
for it to cool off a little bit.
And Diego, your background look exotic. Where are you?
So I'm actually in Bogota in Congo Film School. That is a filmmaking school, really beautiful. It has all the equipment. As you see, I'm in a really big studio where they have balls, they have a lot of lights, the best cameras. So I love to teach, but I love to learn, and this is the
So
reason that I'm here.
so it's just because we're gonna talk about filmmaking, you rent the studio and do the background
Absolutely.
things.
I'm always prepared. I'm always ready.
That's
So
a nice
that's not
dedication.
your garage. That's not your garage.
My garage for a big truck. I'm a truck driver. I'm a truck driver.
Oh man. All right, gang, before we start, let me share my screen because, let me do the little housekeeping. Okay. Alrighty. If you go to maxon.net/events, you'll be able to see the webinars that we are hosting in Maxon channel. Today we have Maxon Color with Rick, and we're gonna talk about his new independent movie called Along Came Ruby. And also next week, Monday, there is a demystifying post productions about the workflows in Cinema 4D. So if you are interested on that, make sure to tune in. Visit maxon.net/events and check it out. And also, if you're new to the show and if you want to get some T-shirt, you can. You can get some T-shirt, and in the screen you'll see the address. I'll paste that. I'll copy and paste that in the chat soon. And to enter the store, you just need to use the code Cinema 4D Workflows, and by using that code, you can select any of this merchandise available in the store, and the price will be reduced to zero, and you just need to pay a small shipping cost. All right. And also, this session is being recorded. So if you're wondering, or if you're asking yourself, hey, can I watch the recording and can I rewatch it? Of course, you can do that. And it will be available in YouTube. So if you go to YouTube and type in Max on Training Team, in fact, all the webinars hosted by Max on Training Team will be recorded and will be stored in this YouTube channel. And what's nice is that it will be timestamps as well. So you can just like skip to the important part, right? Okay. And don't forget, you can also email us if you have any questions, anything color grading related or filmmaking related. Make sure you can always reach out to us. Our email is maxoncolor@maxon.net, and feel free to reach out to us there. Alrighty. So, Rick, tell us a bit
Yes.
about yourself, man.
First of all, I want to say congratulations on the show, and I think it's
Oh,
so cool.
thank you, man.
That is the company is Max On. Your name is Max, so you went Max On Color. That's
Ah, ah.
brilliant. It's amazing. But
Yeah,
what do you want to
yeah.
know about myself? What can I say about myself? I am just a person with a dream. I like telling stories. I like telling stories. That's all I want to do in my life. And as difficult as it is, I just can't stop. I was born in Rome, Italy. I came to the United States in 2006. because I wanted to tell stories. I wanted to be closer to Hollywood and all that. And then thankfully with a new technology, you don't have to be in Hollywood to get something done. So I can live on more, simple life, a little bit away from all that craziness down there.
Wow.
But I used to live down there. I used to work down there all the time.
So you moved from Italy to Hollywood to USA just to chase your dream, so to say.
Chase a dream. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of reasons, but the main reason was to chase a dream. I grew up in a neighborhood in Rome, behind Cinecittà, which is the hub of Pasolini, Fellini. So
Yes,
I
yes,
grew up.
yes. So you have
I
like
remember, I remember when they were shooting Gangs of New York back there.
nice.
And I would sneak in
Wow.
and try to see what they were doing. So I've always been in love with telling stories and how they would, you'll be able to get from an idea to get that story out there for other people to see it the same way that you imagine it. So here I am now. I just finally made it's a 20-minute film. It's more like I consider it almost like a pilot for a series,
All right.
even though it's not. But because I'm developing the rest of it, and I think it should be a series. But I'm happily married. I have a 10-month-old daughter that she's everything to me, and I keep going with my dream, man. It's like
That's so
I'm.
nice. That's so nice. And is she Italian or American?
My wife,
Yeah, yeah,
or my wife, she's from here.
yeah,
She's
yeah, yeah.
American. She speaks Italian, understands Italian. My daughter, now we're talking to her in two languages. We're trying to teach her both
That's
languages
really
at the
great.
same time.
That's the best thing. That's the best thing. Congratulations,
But
man. That's awesome.
thank you. That's the best thing in the world. And I've been a commercial photographer for many years before getting into video. I've done big brands like Pirelli or Fiat or HP or Nike, stuff like that. And I needed to. I got to a point where I needed more. I wanted my photos to talk to me.
So you
And
you start as a photographer first, and then after that got hooked into filmmaking.
yeah, I've always wanted to do film, but
Ah,
I got stuck as a photographer, and I think it's the best thing that happened to me because the composition, the eye, the how with a photo, if you have a split of a second to be able to tell a story with a photo.
Yes, that's what I
yeah.
Like
was thinking.
I
It's like
used to work, yeah, in commercials. You'll do billboards, and you're on a freeway. You have split of a second for a person to understand as they're driving what you're selling. So
yeah,
it really taught me a lot that I've been because then afterwards I started working more into camera op, DP, and then I was like, no, I want to tell those stories that I see in my head. So I need to direct. I need to write and direct. So yeah, it's just growth. It's just I don't know. I just need more.
That's really great, man. And what is your biggest inspirations to start filmmaking?
Well, I don't know. So there. I was 10. I was 10 years old,
Yeah.
and I was watching a movie. So my father passed. My father passed when he was 59.
yeah.
But I was 10. I remember watching this film with my dad, and at the end it was really sad. And I was crying. My dad was crying, and we were alone at home. Just we looked at each other. We were both crying. And it was a beautiful moment. I just wanted to recreate that moment for other people. I wanted to give the opportunity for other people to have those memories. To me, that was very important.
That's
And even
beautiful.
though I was 10, so you forget things, but then as you grow up, you start thinking back, you start remembering. Those memories come back, and you're like,
Yeah.
it's always been my inside motivation without realizing it until I was old enough to be like, wow, that's true. I've been wanting to give people the opportunity to have those moments like that
Emotions.
moment I had. Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. And at some point, it's like you're saying, like, okay, at some point we are magicians.
Yeah.
It's like okay, we want to show people something that we feel, and you directors are at some, I think, like painters, like you want to express something that you live,
Right.
that you feel, and you say, I want to show it, and your way to show it is based on the images, but also you write, right? You write the scripts, or
Yes, I'm not a great writer.
yeah, yeah,
I mean, obviously, I English is also not my first language, but I like to write the story down just
Yeah.
as I see it, and then I collaborate with different writers. In this case, there were a multitude of writers in this film, but maybe one person changes one thing, one other person adds another thing. I think it's not, because it's not all about me, it's about my vision, and the most important thing is surround yourself with the best at what they do and give them your vision so they can actually materialize
Got it.
Awesome.
Got it.
it.
And Rick, this is probably like the questions like our audience probably asking. It's like, hey, if I want to be a filmmaker myself, and where do I start? And how do you start, Rick?
So
Like where do you start?
Did you move to LA to study,
Do
or
you
how
do
was
you
it?
need
so
to
no,
move
I
to
didn't
US?
have the opportunity, I didn't have the money, I didn't have the connection, I still don't have the money, I still don't have the connection. Back then was a little harder because there was no YouTube almost. It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
right now, again, just watching things like what we're doing today, you can learn so much that before you would have to go through school and pay a lot of money. uh, you can actually just get a phone, or you can get a Blackmagic 4K. You can get that camera for a little bit over $1,000. Get that camera, go on YouTube, learn as much as you can, and test it. Try it, mess with it. You can get cheap lenses. I've done a short film called Long Pig that was shot with a Pocket 6K and Rockinon lenses, $300 lenses, and it won over 21 awards in different festivals. It's all about just doing, and do not get tool trapped, because that's the biggest thing. People think, I don't have that means I can't do that. Oh, I need that to get that done. That is all in your head. That's your brain putting obstacles to stop you because of fear. So you want to get started,
Yeah.
you have the world at your fingertips to learn what to do.
Exactly.
That's my biggest advice.
We're all like a gearhead, like even in a color suite, somebody may have like the feeling that, oh, I cannot start because I don't have the color panel. I don't have this. I don't have that.
Right.
Isn't it?
It's that.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, at the end, it's like do it, follow what you feel, and start doing things. I think is what at some point Rick says.
That's all there is. You just have
Yeah.
to, see it in your head and test. You know what? And then you're gonna learn from what you did wrong, and next time you're gonna do better. And then you're gonna learn from what you did wrong that time. It's all in your fingertips. Seriously. Today it's so much easier to get all the
Yes.
information. Back then, even before my time, oh my God, that was,
Mm.
you had to go to school. You don't anymore. It's a good thing if you can go to school.
Yeah.
Yeah, by all means, it's amazing. I wish I could have gone to school.
On that
But
topic, Rick, because you mentioned school, what is your opinion here between like chasing the career by going to film school or not going to film school? I mean, there are some people that making it in the industry, but never been in a film school. What is your take on it?
so my take on
Do
it,
I need to go to film school to be a filmmaker?
I,
Sorry,
I I don't think there is a need for it. But going to film school will obviously, first of all, it'll create a lot of connections.
Yeah, I
That's
think
what's
that's the
important.
biggest thing. That's the most
The
important
biggest
thing.
thing
Connection.
is you're gonna find people just like you that have the
Yeah.
same vision as you, the same strengths and all that. You're gonna get out of school. You already have a team. You're already doing things together. You had the opportunity to be hands-on. Like, look at that studio that Diego is in.
Yeah.
I personally never been in a studio like that. But at the same time, I know a lot of people that come out of school that if they get out of school from a studio like that and all of a sudden they don't have that available to them, they don't know what to do,
Yes.
because they're so used to have it all that now that I have to start from zero, they don't know what to do. So there's an ups and downs on everything. You just have to go with the right mentality. If you go to school, you're gonna Learn as much as you can. Try everything. Get connections. Once you get out, be ready to start from the bottom. If you don't go to school, just go online, get outside, get your cameras, get your phone, film, and try.
Yeah.
And so it really, I think there is advantages and disadvantages to both ways.
And I also believe that, I mean, uh, we always in our life we are saying, okay, this new technology, this new technique. So I will always say, okay, a school is good, but I mean, there are always many workshops, many courses, many conventions, many conferences that you can complement, and you can, like, at the end, it's like all of our life we are studying. So that's a beautiful thing also.
Absolutely, absolutely. I learned so much on my last set. I
Yeah,
was directing, but I was learning at the same time.
yeah. And
That
also
was
what you
from
say,
the
yeah.
that was from the Along Came Ruby set.
Correct. Absolutely, yes.
And also you say something about going to set is nice, is you learn. So for example, I mean, you have, if you are a friend of Rick, you can say, hey Rick, can I join you at least to see how is it, how how
Absolutely.
how it works. That's also learning.
When I was 18, I just turned 18. I was in Rome. I have a cousin who was doing a film. He was doing a short film. And I wanted to be and see what was going on. So I just became a PA. I was picking up the actress from home and drive her to the set and bring her to breakfast. And she was also a little bit famous. So everybody was looking at me like, oh my God, who's this kid with her? And I'm like, yeah. But it's just that's how you do. I mean, a lot of unfortunately, I did meet a lot of people that came out of school. Speaking of school, that spent so much money that they feel now they're not going to be a PA, they're not going to be a grip, they're not going to be uh, the lowest on a set. They feel like they have to be a DP, they have to be a director, and that's unless you're really connected or amazing. That's not how it works. I would say swallow your pride, just go and learn, get on set. It's amazing even to be there and learn. I started photographing sets just because I wanted to be on set. Then I became just a second camera assistant, and then DIT, you're there with the computer just downloading files and you're watching everything they're doing, hands on. There's so many things that I recommend people just go on set and do it. I was a background actor because I wanted to be on set. I
Wow.
was, I wanted to
That's
be on set.
nice. That's awesome. That's great.
I went to LA and I started going to all these auditions as an actor, not because I wanted to be an actor, because I wanted to be on set with directors and DPs and see how they work. I was observing.
That's
So
awesome.
and I'm still nobody and I'm still nowhere, but I love learning. So you just keep
But it
learning, keep
seems like
learning.
you are giving us such a nice tips here, Rick. But if we can just like how do you call it, structurize it a little bit. What is your advice for somebody that want to get involved in the productions? I think you already mentioned that maybe approach the people that do
Correct.
movies and take the chance for any single opportunity that you can get.
Absolutely. And you think, how do you do that today? Today is social media. Get on. Sorry, my chair is squeaky.
No
Uh,
problem.
get on. Get on social
Sure is-
media.
yeah.
Look at all the directors, DPs, gaffers, companies in your area that do commercial, film, music videos, and just write them. Hey, how can I help? I want to be on set. Hey, can I be a PA? Hey, can I just? How can I be of help? Every set needs people all the time. Even if you're not, maybe the first 3 times you don't make money. Now you really need money. All right, try to go for a couple of $100 just to be a PA. Do it. Go and write on social media to all these people. And if you're in Sacramento, you want to write me. If you're or if I don't have anything going on, I'll tell you. I'll tell all my colleagues, and we're always looking for help.
Yeah.
And to
That is
you,
so
that's
right. Yeah.
that's the biggest school. That's the biggest
Yeah.
school because you're gonna see not a teacher. Unfortunately, I teach in Italy. I used to teach as well. But it's like you're gonna see how the stress of a real set. So you're gonna learn how to be on a set as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's my
And
biggest advice.
and you say something that right now with the social media, LinkedIn, Instagram, even Facebook, that no one already use Facebook. But I mean,
Yeah.
it's like
I
it's
do.
really easy to contact person. I do sometimes, but it's
And
really easy
Adam
to
is
contact.
Yeah, and Adam in the chat is also asking the same question. So there you go. A high five, Adam.
Hey,
There
Adam.
you go. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
go even on actually Facebook. There's so many local filmmakers groups.
Yes,
Just
that's
go
a
on
good
them.
thing.
Just go on them. Like, hey, I'm Adam, and I want to be on set. How can I help? How can I bring my expertise? What's your expertise? Observing. All right, we'll find some for you because you could be secretary assistant of the script to make sure everything. There's so many things you can do on set. People don't know how many roles actually there are that you can be on. It's phenomenal. Sets are just the energy you get on a set, and how you get a concentrated learning experience in, like, if it's a short film and it's only 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, you're learning a lot in those 4 days.
On the social media side, Rick, apart from Instagram and Facebook, do you also recommend to go to forum or something like that? Or is there any specific platform that you really enjoy?
So I'm old. Okay, I I
We
don't
are
do
old.
TikTok.
Who
We are
doesn't?
old. We are old.
I don't do TikTok, but I tell people, unfortunately, that's the new. You got to be on TikTok.
Seems like it, yeah.
Uh, I use
Yeah.
LinkedIn a lot. LinkedIn is just, obviously it's more professional. It's more for work. I mean, if you
Yeah.
look at my picture on Instagram, you look at my picture on TikTok. I mean, I'm sorry, on LinkedIn, I look like a different person. I look like I'm a salesman. But I would say whatever works for you. I mean, people are on every social media. I think people on sets are usually mainly on Instagram anyway, because you post photos and videos on sets and all that. So creative people are mainly on Instagram. So I
Yeah.
would say Instagram is the strongest for that, but I can't speak for the other ones since I don't know them. I don't use them. Maybe I'm missing out. You tell me.
But
I
but
think.
that's such a nice attitude, just to approach people and be honest and offer them your help. And I never thought about that.
Yeah, and don't get
Always, I
afraid
still do
also.
it.
Yeah.
I still do it. I still write way bigger directors than me, and I'm asking, how can I help? How can I be of service? Can I be your assistant? Can I do this? Can I do that? I use that even to make my film. I use Instagram to get sponsorships from Atlas. I mean, I shot the whole film with the Atlas Orion Silver editions. If you were gonna buy the both sets, were about $90,000.
Wow.
Yes. Yes.
I
Absolutely.
was lucky enough that they're amazing. They're an amazing company, but I wouldn't have known until I actually wrote them and I gave them my vision and I told them what I'm trying to do and why their lenses would play a character in my film, and they loved it. And they just send me all the lenses to use for the same thing. It happened with DZO Film. I wrote them and I said, hey, I want to do macro shots, and your noses will be perfect for it because of this and that and that. And I said, obviously, you want to be
Yeah.
prepared. You wanna send them a pitch deck. You want to send them, examples, what you've done, things like that. And you'll be surprised how many people are willing to help out if you reach out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there are
Absolutely.
some macro moment I saw in your film. There are plenty of it.
Yes,
That's
I
really
wanted to do
cool.
more, but we didn't have enough
Yeah.
time.
Speaking of your film, let's talk about Along Came Ruby, Rick.
Huh.
Awesome.
So, what's Along Came Ruby is all about?
Well, Along Came Ruby is a different kind of short film because the main challenge I wanted to do was storytelling. I didn't want to do the regular short film where you're right in the scene and everything is happening right there. I wanted to create. That's why I say it's more of a almost like a pilot of a scene of a short of a
A
series.
series.
I wanted to
Correct.
create 3 acts within 20 minutes. I wanted to do first act, second act, and the third act within 20 minutes, which is very complicated to keep it working together, keep it connected. But the film itself, it's about, imagine one day the whole world falls asleep. Everybody falls asleep. Everybody falls asleep, from animals to people, and only a very small part of the population wakes up. In this case, Ruby wakes up. She's 12. Her whole family, her whole neighborhood, everybody's still asleep, and she's alone. She's alone in this world, and she has a brother from a different father that lives with with his father in the west. So she's in the east. He lives in the west, and there's no more communication or anything. But she feels and she believes that he's still alive. So what do? You start walking. So now the film takes place when she's been walking for 6 years. She's 18 now, and she has an encounter with a mysterious older woman, and everything unfolds in that moment. There's a lot happening. I like to play with with the concept of time
Yeah.
paradox, and it's a different kind. The best thing and the worst thing about this film, because either you love it or hate it, it's that it feels like you're watching something until you realize you're watching something else. It really takes a turn,
Yeah.
and that's
So
how I like writing my things.
and it's such a gorgeous film, Rick. I really
Yes.
enjoy watching it. And by the way, guys, if you want to watch Along Came Ruby, you can watch it by going to Rick's website, and the link is in the chat. For you guys who is joining late today and missed the trailer, let us play the short teaser again. What about it? How about it, Rick?
Sounds
Yeah.
good. Just so you know,
Good.
it's not the link is not on my website yet, but because
Sorry.
it came
Yeah.
out yesterday, and it's on Film Shortage.
Film shortage.
All
Yeah,
right.
more
Perfect.
about that. More about that after
After
the trailer.
the test.
Yeah.
All right.
Yellow is gold, blue is water, green is life, black is death.
Really nice.
Doesn't give out much.
It's really short. It's really, you probably you're thinking what is happening, what is going to
Yeah.
happen. This is,
And
but it's
Rick,
a really fun, pretty good chapter.
It's a hook.
so yeah, like Ricardo said before, if you want to watch Rick, if you want to watch Rick, if you want to watch Along Came
Along
Ruby,
came Ruby.
of course, you can go to filmshortage.com and search for Along Came Ruby, and I'll post you the link here in
Okay,
the
it's also
chat.
on their YouTube channel.
Yeah,
So you can even just go on YouTube and write along Came Ruby. Will come.
exactly. Or if you go to YouTube, write in Along Came Ruby, and you'll be able to watch Along Came Ruby. Oops, there you go. So, Rick, let's talk about the technical specifications of this film, Rick.
Yeah,
Let's
What do you
nerd out
want
a
to
little
know?
bit.
because it's actually a beautiful movie. It's like it looks
Yeah.
really. I mean,
Shout out to the DP, Joey Catches, the
Yeah.
gaffer, Brian McKenzie, and everybody on set. I mean, you can see them all over here. I wanted to put everybody here because it's very important to me to make understand who did what. Also, I mean, everybody was amazing. Everybody was just on point. It's shout out to everybody. Seriously. I don't know what to say. I mean, photography it's also the set design. I mean, the set design and Rain and also Trevor, they did an amazing job with the costume, with the set. Patrick as a second camera operator was amazing. It was I don't know. I don't know what to say. Everything it was just my vision, and so that's the biggest thing. It's like don't you know how we want to learn to do everything, and I do too. I mean, I can technically write, direct, I can DP, I can edit, I can do sound design, I can color, I can do it all. And but sometimes just get your vision and get the best of what they do and let them do their thing. And it looks so much better. Everything comes out so much
Yeah.
better.
yeah. At the end,
But
it's like you say, like a team. It's like
it's the
you
most
are
important
the
thing.
coach. You are the one that have the idea. You need to have that team to for accomplish your idea. You cannot do it alone.
Correct. And my way was it's not just this is my vision, this is what we do. I
Yeah.
think we're all artists. Everybody in this list is an artist, okay? So what I did on set on the first day, I was like, okay, I gave you the canvas, I drawn an outline on this canvas. Now I want you guys to fill it. I want everybody to fill it with your art because that's what it is. That's what a film is. I don't. There's a lot of directors that just they know exactly. I want this way. I want this. I want that, and it's okay. That's their vision. That's the way they want to work. The way I want to work is I put artists in a room. Why would I tell them what to do? I tell them what I want, and then I let them do it. You know what I mean? It's like you hire.
Without micromanaging.
Absolutely not. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely not. Not micromanage. I like them to just fill in those, with the color you choose. That's how I like it. But talking about technical aspects, because you asked me that question. So we shot. I was lucky enough to be able to shoot everything with Alexa 35, Ari Alexa 35, and second cam was the Alexa Mini LF, and also the Alexa
Wow.
Mini. Really lucky. The DP Joe, he has the Alexa 35. Patrick brought the Alexa Mini. So I was very lucky, But again, not tool trapping. It's not like it would, It's not like if I didn't have that camera, I wasn't gonna do it. No, I was lucky. I was lucky enough to have that, so has a look that I would prefer. But we shot a whole scene with the Red Komodo that I own, and it looked amazing as well. So in the end, if you have the right location, the right actors, the right costumes, the right DP, the right gaffer, the right lighting, you know what? Even with your phone, it's gonna look amazing.
And the right preparation, I will say, because I'm
Oh
sure
yeah.
it wasn't a work like, okay, I have all of these toys and let's shoot. No, I'm sure you spend like long days like thinking on what to do, talking about this needs to be like this and so on. It's really
Yeah.
Yes and
important.
no. Meaning, usually yes. Usually
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
would, yeah. There was a lot about this is the look that we need to get. This is the location. So there was a lot of location scouting. So that's a whole other conversation because pre-production, to me, it's the whole thing.
Yeah.
You're done with the pre-production. The first day on set, I see it as you're done because now you're just following what you already put down. That's how I see it. So the pre-production, it's the whole movie. Then obviously, because you already know what kind of post you're gonna do, you already know what kind of production you're gonna have, you already know everything. So you're just following steps that you have to think first. But
Yeah.
at the same time, I also wanted a lot of improvisation. I really wanted a lot of okay, we're here. How are we gonna like this? Okay, we're here. Tell me how you want to do this. Hey, we have this available. Let's use it. So a lot was actually like that, and I think it's the most inspiring way of creativity, where you see where you are, you see what you have available, and you just make it happen.
And when you're shooting this, Rick, when you're shooting Along Came Ruby, do you already have like a post productions in your mind that you want to do this and you want to do that? That's why I shoot it like exactly like how you specified.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Got it.
Especially if you know that you're going to do visual effects, you have to
Mm-hmm.
have shot plates or certain ways because you know
Yeah.
that you have to. So obviously there's a lot. Like I said, pre-production. It's all in the pre-production.
Yes.
I already know, like, if you already know what look you want, like what color you're gonna do, you can take a LUT and put it on your monitors so you can already start seeing it. Or
The
you have your
feeling.
DIT already like coloring some frames so you can see it right there if the everything else works, because maybe the way you want to color it, it's underexposing a bunch of shadows and you're filming too dark, so you want to film a little bit overexposed. So there's a lot of things that if you get into details, yes. But a lot
Yeah.
of times you don't do that. A lot of times don't overthink it. That's my thing. Don't overthink. Do it. Do it. Just do it. Just do it how it happens. It evolves. It becomes its own reality. It becomes its own story. If you just show up and you get things done.
And you just say about post production and that you were thinking that on set. Do you have a background in post production, Ricardo?
So I've been a one man band for a long time. So I had to learn everything, and now I'm
Yeah.
telling people don't do that because it's just you focus on one thing.
It's hard.
But
Yeah.
it's hard because you're never, what, if you can do it all, you're never gonna be the one that it's known for that or for that or for that.
Yeah.
So if you can do it all, yeah, you're great. But when somebody's gonna think, oh, I need a colorist, they're gonna call the guy that it's been working as a colorist and not the guy who can't color, but can also do this and this and this and this and that. If you're
Yeah.
gonna be, a DP, just be a DP. Don't be the guy who can DP, color, sound, compose, and all that. Because when somebody's gonna hire a DP, they're gonna think of the DP, not of the guy who can do it all. So that's my advice. But as a
Great
creative, as
advice.
an artist, I'll want to learn everything because it's fun.
Yeah.
Just don't promote it.
Get to know everything, but get deep in one
No,
aspect.
and I think also you as a director that you are. I mean, you are like the like the
Right.
face of everything and the person that need to take decisions.
Hmm.
Probably for you was really important to be that one man soul, like at least to know what is happening and how to decide and how to say, okay, we can do it, we cannot. I'm not the expert. I trust you,
No, I
but
like that. I
yeah,
like what you're
let's do
saying.
it. Yeah, something like that.
And to me, oh, thank you, Ken. Yeah,
Ken
Ken
in the
is
chat
awesome.
say, "Good job, man."
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah, Ken is awesome. So no, what I was gonna say is, I believe that a director, you, if you really want to direct, you should know at least, like Diego is saying, you should know a little bit of everything, because I feel like you're like an orchestra conductor. So I feel
Mhm.
like if anything is going, I need to know what's happening, and if something happens, I need to know how to fix it.
Yeah.
So that's how I see it. And there's a lot of people out there that want to direct, and they're more writers. They like to write, and they think, okay, I wrote it, I want to direct it, and it's great. But to me, they're not ready to be directors. I don't know if it makes any sense. I feel like you need to get your hands dirty first. You need to learn how to run cables, how to
Mhm.
gaff, how to grip, how to build a shitty rig. You need to get through all those steps. So
Yeah.
then you can say, okay, now I'm directing, so I can see what everybody's doing. Even though you trust them 100%, automatically your mind is set on making sure everything is running smoothly. If you don't know that, how are you going to be able to, um, you know, to manage that? Because you're managing, if it makes any sense.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it seems like, speaking of colorists, it seems like you're really blessed because you are working in with one of the most talented guy in the industry. I think it's like the
Yep.
person who has the Midas touch. You know, it's just like my
Yeah, absolutely.
favorite hero out there,
Yeah,
Walter
w-
Volpato. Shout out to
with a
Walter
color Hollywood
Volpato.
star. Yeah.
Yeah, he did a lot of like big movies like The Last Jedi. The Last Jedi, was it? Yeah, The Last Jedi, Hateful
Yeah.
Eight, Dunkirk
Dunkirk.
1917. Yeah.
Yeah, many movies.
Interstellar,
Yeah.
Man, how
Interstellar, Red
lucky.
Notice.
How lucky you are.
So I am very blessed. I am crazy blessed that I was able to get Walter. Is Italian, so Walter.
Walter. Yeah.
Um, but at the same time, you create your own luck.
Yeah.
And again, it's the Instagram thing. I hit him up. I just asked him. I flat out asked him if he wanted to contribute, if he wanted to help. And now, maybe the fact that I'm Italian and I'm a really good friend with a person that he used to work with, and they're also friends. So the situation helped me, obviously.
Yes.
But don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to ask. Because if I didn't ask Walter, it would have been a no automatically.
Yeah,
What's the worst thing that can happen if you ask? He's going to say no.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
I was crazy blessed. And it was one of the best experiences because I went down to Burbank. I went to his house and he colored it in front of me. It was just, I was watching a maestro. He was the quickest colorist I've ever seen. And his biggest thing wasn't all, because a lot of, not a lot of colorists, but a lot of people that think what colorists do, it's all about the color and the look. He worked on the photography. He
Yeah,
masked so much and working on the photography and lowering certain parts exposures and getting the exposure higher on the other parts. Like he actually worked on the photography quite a lot.
That's beautiful.
It
Yeah.
was amazing. It was amazing seeing him. So thank you, Walter. I mean, that was, thank you. Seriously, you go on his IMDb, you see all these films, and you see Along Came Ruby.
yeah.
So I was very blessed.
And
What's going on? Is it Diego's?
I think your microphone is hot. There you go.
Yeah.
And one more thing. Speaking of post productions, Rick, here I see that you use some effects like for the VFX. I think you mentioned to me that you also use some Maxon products
Correct.
for the film as well, right? And I think if I'm not mistaken, the pre-visualizations was also done with Magic Bullet looks at some point.
Correct. Yes.
Tell us a
I
little bit about that.
So I used to use Magic Bullet for years before it was Maxon, before it was Red Giant. I mean Maxon.
So back in the
Um,
day, yeah.
Back in the day, and so I'm used to create specs, especially. But I used to use it for everything, obviously. But also this time, since I was used to it, even this time, I mean, to kind of come up with the vision that I wanted, the look that I wanted, the feeling, the grain. I just decided to, I went and I use looks a lot. I use looks
Yeah.
because I wanted to use. What I love about looks is you can put filters in front of your camera. Technically, you can use Pro Mist, so I can bloom the highlights. I can do a little flare, so I can already see how it's gonna look. Things here and there. I use Mojo to get that a little bit of a filmic. Just you can put a Mojo like a 5% or anything like that. You get that
Exactly.
blue in the shadows. I use film a lot. I love film. Film is one of my favorite. It really gets that Kodak film look that it looks fantastic. So I used a lot of that in the pre-visualization. So then kind of like as I was talking to Walter or even showing other people like, hey, this is what the look that I want. How can we accomplish it? But at the same time, I was for the VFX. I have three great visual effects artists, Marco and Piero and Phil. That they you can see their names, on my website
Yeah.
on IMDb or. They used. I'm reading them because they wrote them down because it's not my expertise. They use a lot of chromatic displacement for the distorted timelines. They use trap code for dust in the scene. They use universe electrify. I mean, they use electrify for electricity effect, as you can see in that one shot. They use flicker to act the extra effect on the scene. Optical glow, real lens flare. Like they went all in, and it made it so easy
Wow.
because they were all in one place, and it just went nuts. And also because I gave them like, hey, I need it done yesterday. I need to submit it to a festival. So I just and it worked. They made an amazing. I was blown away.
Yeah, and the VFX is really nice. As a viewer, I was like, okay, I'm watching the movie, and then all of the VFX appear. I was like, wow, wow, really impressed about the VFX work that they did it.
Yeah.
Shout out to them. Shout out to them. I mean, Piero Perilli and Fillmore and Marco Castiglione, I think. But
So
I know
again,
him as
guys,
Robo Studio.
yeah, again, I mean, the people in the audience probably wondering where to watch Along Came Ruby. You can go to YouTube and type in Along Came Ruby. It will be available in Film Shortage, or you can also go to Film Shortage right away and type in Came Ruby, and you'll be able to enjoy the full movie.
Absolutely. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Exactly. Every views count, right?
Oh my god. And
Absolutely,
reviews on
absolutely.
IMDb. I really want people to leave me reviews because that's how you learn from criticism that obviously better be constructive.
Yeah. And that's really nice, Rick. What I see here is that normally whenever you are using like Red Giant Suite, you see like a lot of like action movies, which is great, and I love action movies. But sometimes you don't realize that some drama or some something with slower pace, there are a lot of VFX works as well. And with that being said, is that that you can also use a lot of like Red Giant Suite tools in this kind of movies, the one that is not
Absolutely.
fast paced, the one that doesn't have somebody jumping out of the car or the helicopter and so on and so forth, right?
Absolutely. And that's the thing that's my kind of filmmaking. Yeah, action is great and all that. Obviously, I would love to shoot an action scene, but it's mainly because of the way you shoot an action scene. It's more
Yeah.
the action behind the camera during an action scene than the action itself on the but yeah, I mean, I'm a sci-fi kind of like author, like slow paced poetry kind of. I don't know. I love. I have a weird my own. I really have my own way of telling a story,
God.
and something that makes you feel, something that you're there. It brings a lot of emotions instead of just being fast cat action. You
Yeah.
can use a lot. Like if you create the right world, you can use a lot of just visual effects in something that is, like you said, is slow paced.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be big explosions. It doesn't have to be that. Visual effects can be so many things. It could be rain. It could be dust from the moon exploded and now there's little dust particles everywhere. I mean, again, you can do a full short in the desert with snow coming in the desert, and this person is just in the middle of the sand dune. So you're like, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It doesn't make sense what I'm saying. No, my cat is going nuts over here. Hey, but
Well,
no, sorry. Go ahead.
what I want to say, because you previously mentioned that you use some magic bullet tools as well for the previs. Why not let me just show some magic bullet tools for the
Please
audience
do.
as well, right?
Please do. Please
Yeah,
do.
yeah, because Ricardo says many names like Universe,
I know.
Hamsko,
Yeah,
and I'm sure every one of you are like, hey, what is this? What is this? So
exactly. You know that with Magic Bullet and Universe, those are two separate suites, but in Magic Bullet, one of like the tools that is really famous is called Magic Bullet Looks, and it runs in different hosts, a lot of hosts, by the way. You can use it in Premiere Pro, you can use it in After Effects, you can even use it in Cinema 4D, you can use it in Unreal Engine. It's like everywhere you can use Magic Bullet
Mhm.
Looks. And Magic Bullet Looks is a look designer, right? So it will open this interface and it gives you like a viewer and a drawer with a lot of tools. And then once you open the tools, you select a tool and you'll get the controls to select to how do you call it, control that tools, right? You also have scopes. And what's nice also is that it is shipped with over 300 presets, and this presets you can like play around with it and you can tweak it. It's not the end of the story, so you can use presets and then tweak to your liking and do whatever you want with that. So it's like a great starting point, so to say. And like what Ricardo said before, he was using a lot of the film tools, and there are two film tools available. Not two. There are five, six, seven, eight different film tools. So, for example, you can just use the film print, and there are plenty of like the parameter that you can adjust. And if you want to combine film print with some film negative, you can also do that. And there are plenty of like film negative profile that you can use, and you can still tweak to your liking. Or what Rick mentioned before, that he used Mojo. Mojo is also available in the Magic Bullet Looks. In Magic Bullet Looks. And what Mojo does is that, it brings your highlight into like this warm territory and it cool down your shadow. So it's like giving you like this split tone looks while adding up the contrast. And also the recently added tools is like this really physically accurate optical diffusions, and it comes with a lot of presets. So basically it adds diffusions to your image, and it come up with the presets that was modeled after a lot of different filter. So for example, if if you've been like vlogging for a while, you probably know like this Black Promise, and there are Black Promise that you can use there. Or if you want to use any Schneider filter, there are also plenty of those filters available. And those are those are the tools inside Magic Bullet Looks.
yes, and what I
And
will say is that it's a really flexible like tool. Like you can experiment, you can show different filters, like
yeah,
even organize them. and you have all of them in one place. And it's also a great plugin that you can have in different platforms. So you
Yeah,
can be in Resolve or you can be in Premiere, and you can use it. It's up to you.
exactly. And speaking of like the Maxon tools as well, you can like the Maxon tool is not just like how do you call it? The Red Giant tools is not just limited to Magic Bullet looks when it's come to filmmaking. There are plenty of other tools that lives in Universe Suite, and those are like the tools that Rick used in his how do you call it? His movie. I think he was using like Universe Electrify as well, right? Rick, you mentioned
Yes,
Electrify,
displacement, electrifying. There was,
and
but go ahead.
yeah, Electrify. It's like these tools that adds electricity to your footage like really fast, and that is just done through this effect. So I'm just using like Electrify. So first, it is a how do you call it? It is just a green screen shot, and then I remove the green screen, and then added the how do you call it, edge detect, and just applied electrify on the edge detect, and it also applies on this the removed area. But since these are removed, it's not visible anymore. And then with the background, what we did in the background is that we just add some fire background, and then blur it and add some texturized motions, and it becomes like totally different other background. So you can use a lot of like universe tools to create like this, to spice things up, so to say. And in the end, I also like use Magic Bullet looks to spice things up, so before and after. And it is also very flexible that you can also use it in like creating text. For example, if you want to create like a motion graphics, you can do that. And I have an example here that I just want to show you. And this is like a like how do you call it, motion graphic text based um, piece. So if you watch like the first how do you call it, the first viewer, at the beginning there's like this black background. All right, so I added universe self gradient background, and I got like this result. And from there I can add like texturized motion to create like this fuzzy background, and then change the color with universe multitone. So all of this was created with universe tools. And then the overall of that looks like that. And then in top of that, on top of this background, I added like this white rectangle. And then I add turbulence noise on top of that. And then the prism displacement. I think this effects was also used in Along Came Ruby, the prism displacement, right, Rick? If I'm not mistaken, of course.
I think it was real displacement.
I see. Okay.
Is it a different one? I don't know.
I
Again,
think,
they
yeah.
told me what they used.
And then on top of this prism displacement, I add like a glow, and on top of that, it looks like this, both merged together. And on top of this background, I added a text called rewind, and then I give the text a body by using universe luster. And then after that, I transform it, just put it somewhere there in the corner, and add glow. And when merged together, I got like that kind of result. And on top of that, I also add like this screen text just behind this be kind. So screen text is also universe plugin. So I just merge it somewhere there and reduce the opacity and add the second text, be kind, transform it, and then add glow. And from there, I separate the how do you call it, the instance, so to say. So I create two different effects from one source, one by adding electrify and put it in this area, and then the second one is just on top of it, that, and then I have some blur, and the merge together looks like that. And last but not least, I have like this cassette sRGB
What's a
Image.
cassette?
What's a cassette? It's like a
How
exotic
you?
things with two holes,
Is
that
that a
has.
poster? Is that just a design?
Yeah, it's just an image, sRGB image, and then I apply texturized motions to get like this texture, and on top of that, I also add like this holometrics effects to create like this some sort of hologram vibe, and then I just transform it and merge it together. It looks like that, and that's how you can use how do you call it, universe tools.
Universe. I love
Yeah.
it. I love your work. Next time we will be Max on Universe.
Yes, I think. I mean, yeah. Let me know in the chat if you want some breakdowns of this scene. We can do that in another episode, right? So
Yeah,
that's a overview of the universe
yeah,
tools.
and when you were talking about tools and so on, all of the effects, right now in this lesson that we are taking is about virtual production. And yesterday we were shooting a fashion film, futurist fashion film, and I mean, it was like now that you were showing all of these effects, I was like, wow, they definitely need to use these tools because it's really
Absolutely,
fast
man.
and easy. And probably you say that you were showing or you were having a really fast result, like without
Mhm.
moving so many things. That's at
Yeah,
some point what we wanted.
That's awesome. That is so cool. No, seriously, guys, I've been using, and now that it's all in the same, Max on one, it's all there. It's all available to you. It
exactly.
helps so much. It could be a visualization, or it could be the final post. You can use it for everything, and it helps me so much.
Thank you, Rick. That's really nice to hear.
Oh, absolutely.
And Rick, while I have like one eye on the time, it seems like we only have 3 minutes
Oh,
left.
wow.
Time does fly, isn't it?
Wow.
Um,
It was really
I was
fast.
worried. I was like, an hour? What am I going to talk about?
No man, and we still have to talk about more.
what is next, Rick? What is your plan next for Along Came Ruby from
Well,
from from this from this point?
so I sent it to a lot of festivals.
Got it.
But to be honest, it's not a festival kind of film. What that
Mm,
means is it's too long. It doesn't have a lot of those topics that festivals want. It's not. It's not really festival. Even though the Atlanta Sci-Fi Festival loved it. I think the biggest thing for me now, I need to make my first feature film, the actual
got it.
feature film, and I wrote a few. And my thing is going to be using what I've done in this film to try to get some production companies to invest into my ideas, into my abilities. That's
Awesome.
going to be the main thing. If that doesn't happen, it's still not going to stop me because I'm writing a feature film that I can shoot myself if I have to.
That's
So
the spirit.
the next
Awesome.
thing is going to be my feature film, no matter
That's
what.
it. That's awesome. That's awesome. Come with us. Come with us for sure.
Exactly.
No matter what, I'm going to make a feature film.
Alrighty. And so, guys, if you want to watch Along Came Ruby, please visit YouTube and type in Along Came Ruby. It will be available in Film Shortage channel. And you can also go to filmshortage.com, and I'll just paste this link in the chat. I think I already post that link in the chat, but
Yeah.
let me post it for the second
And
time.
a huge shout out to Film Shortage for selecting the film and choose it as their, you know, premiere and everything, daily
Yeah. Daily
pick and
picks.
everything. So
Yeah.
I'm really, really excited and happy that they enjoy Love Came Ruby because it's a different kind of storytelling. It's not your usual short film.
Got it. And Rick, so when our audience want to follow you, where to find you, man?
Well, that's it. My name right there on Instagram.
In
All
Sacramento.
right.
In Sacramento,
I'm
right?
in Sacramento. But right there on my name, it's at Rik with a K. So Rik Suriano, Suriano. That's probably the easiest way to contact me through Instagram. Ask me any question. Let's chat. Let's geek out on lenses. Let's geek out on cameras. Let's geek out on Maxon suites. It doesn't matter to me. I that's what I live for. I live for this. And my website is riccardosuriano.com, where you can see all my links to everything. I need to update this reel.
That's really neat. Yeah. You have the IMDb here. You have the
I
Instagram
have the
there.
IMDb, I have the
Oh.
Instagram, I have some photography, I have screenshots, I have things about me, I have an EPK, so the basically the press kit for Long Cape Ruby. You can find everything in there.
Thank you,
And
Rik.
yeah, I love to talk to people, man. I just want to talk all this again, geeking out. We can talk Star Wars, the old ones, the original ones. We can we can
You mean
talk
episode-
Back to the Future. That's my.
You mean
No,
episode 1?
Episode 8. Episode 8. But yeah, I mean, I encourage people just let's grow together. Let's build some together. It's but so I'm not a huge fan of what social medias are, but at the same time, to have this way of, if we use it right, we can create such an interesting community where we share insights and just sharing experiences. That's something that wasn't available before. You would have to travel and run into somebody in the middle of another city and start talking and hoping that that person has your same interest. Now you can actually pinpoint the people that you want to talk to. It's insane.
It's really cool. Yeah, in the end, it came back to the community again, right?
Always.
Always. It's all
Always about community, always about networking. I mean, that's the best.
Yeah.
So, thank you so much, everybody, for joining us today. Don't forget that you can get your free T-shirt. The link, you'll find it in the chat. And the code for today is, let me show you. So just use the link in the chat, and then after that, use the code that you see in your screen. It's Cinema 4D Workflows, all capital. And you can order one of this T-shirt for free. You just need to pay the small shipping cost, of course. And if you want to watch this episode, if you want to rewatch this episode, it will be available shortly in our YouTube channel, Maxon Training Team. And again, if you have any questions to us, both me and Diego, you can reach out to us in maxoncolor@maxon.net. Or if you have questions right away to Rik, you can either write me and I'll forward it to Rik, or you can just simply visit Rik's website. It's riccardosuriano.com, the one that you see on your screen. And yeah, again, thank you so much for joining us today. We are very happy that you came and joined the talk. I hope you enjoyed and you learned something about filmmaking today. And thank you very much, Rik, for your time.
Thank you, Rik.
No, thank you for having me,
so
Preston.
much.
Thank you.
Grazie.
And thank you, Diego.
Prego.
Mille grazie. Yeah. And on that note, my name is Max, and I'm accompanied by Diego and Rik today. And thank you so much for joining Max on Color today. I hope to see you in next 2 weeks' time. Take care.
You.
Okay.
Bye. Ciao.
Ciao.